And we are back. Welcome back to the stream, everybody. That right there was... Give me a moment, I need to reposition something on the desk. Mainly the monitor. Yeah, okay. You need to come closer! Yeah, anyway, that right there was Cave Dungeon. It was a track from Mario 64. I actually played it through the 3D collection, and that of course is the song that plays in areas like, well, the last world I think I went through when I streamed this before, which was... It's been about a month since I streamed Mario 64, I think. So yeah, there we go. Oh, that's a really awful font color you're using there, Twitch, but I think that might be Zach. Yes, welcome back to the stream, Zach. Yeah, it's real hard to read your name on my other monitor, which is in reality an old TV here, because Twitch has designated you a strange blue color that's very blurry for your name. And Vanity is also back. Welcome to you too. Hopefully both of you are having a lovely day. Yeah, we're going to carry on with some Mario 64. I was originally going to double up on Retro Sunday games. I do have a specific Game Boy game in mind that I'm going to do, but I don't have it quite prepared, and it's later in the day than I anticipated. So I think I might just, you know, play some Mario 64. Something nice and relaxing, I say, despite the fact I'm going to Big Boo's Haunt, and I have a lot of traumatic memories of that place, so that's gonna be fun. Oh, you bought Mario 3D World. You love that game. Yeah, I've been thinking about picking that up. It's mostly the price tag of it that's kind of putting me off, that, and I'd like to have a physical copy of it. And aside from ordering it online, I have to go pick it up, so that's not really a great idea around here right now. But yeah, 3D World, I've heard a lot of good things about it. Apparently this new, because I think that was one that was released on the Wii originally, was it? No, not the Wii, the Wii U. And I've heard a lot of good things about this particular re-release of it, so yeah, that's something I'd probably want to get into. Oh no, like, if you were a kid when this game came out, and you went into Big Boo's Haunt, there's a specific room in there that can only be described as traumatic. You'll know what I mean when I get to it. Okay, Wii U. Yeah, that's what I thought. That's what I thought. Ever since you started adulting, you don't like buying games that cost more than $15. See, that's the thing, right? Because especially nowadays, I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, okay, I really want this game. But then I look at all the games I have on my shelf over there that I haven't played yet. And the literally hundreds of games I have in my Steam library that I haven't touched yet. And the 1,000 or so games I got through itch.io, or itch.io as I keep calling it, that I've barely touched yet, because they released that big freaking bundle the last summer. That, you know, you pay whatever you want above $5, I think it is, and you get everything in it. So I think for like 10 or 15 bucks that I threw in, I got bunches of games. So yeah, I've got all this stuff that I have not touched, and I've got so many video games now, I'm probably not going to finish them before I die. And I'm like, but that new game looks really good, I want to get that. I mean, for that matter, a game I streamed a demo for not long ago, Fights in Tight Spaces, that comes out in 3 days, and I think that's going to be the first game in a while that I'm going to buy the day it comes out, because I just enjoy the demo so much. Hell, I streamed it for like 2 hours, I think. It was fun. It was fun is what I'm saying. Anyway, before I carry on, one other thing that I would like to mention as like a follow-up from when I streamed yesterday. Because if you were here yesterday, I said how I attempted to make bread the day before and realized I didn't have any bread pans. And after I was done my impromptu stream yesterday, I went out and went on the hunt for a bread pan. And I did indeed find a bread pan, and I did indeed make a loaf of bread. This is like 2/3 of it, because we ate the rest of it. I love the smell of homemade bread, that's why I'm just... Here, let's see if I can, like, if I hold this to the camera close enough, maybe you can trick your senses into... Maybe you can trick your senses into smelling this? It'll be like a meditative sensory thing, maybe? Maybe we can do that. I feel like I do this a lot. Like, most of my streams are just taunting you with baked goods now. It's just because I did the same thing with cookies yesterday. I want a piece of this now. No, it's gonna have to wait till after the stream. That's gonna be my reward for finishing well, as much of Mario as I can. All it is just plain old white bread. It's really good though. I had it in for just long enough, so it's nice and crusty on the outside and it's real soft on the inside. I know why I did this when I said it's real soft. That's oddly, slightly perverse, though I don't know how. Okay, whatever. Anyway, it's nice. It turned out really well. That's something I keep thinking, like I keep remembering whenever I actually do it, is how much I actually love baking, but then I just don't bake anything for long stretches of time, so. You saw Yakuza 0 and to Yakuza 5 on Steam, and you're like, you really want it? Oh yeah. Well, you've seen me stream some of Yakuza 0, and Yakuza 0 is one of the best games I've played in a while. I know it's been out for like 4 or 5 years, but Yakuza 0 is so fun. That's probably what I'm going to be streaming again on Tuesday. Oh, Rolls is back. Hello, Rolls. Hopefully you're having a lovely day. Homemade is always better than the plain white bread squares you get from the grocery. Well, seeing as how Rolls is here now, and he was here yesterday when I was talking about making bread, I need to taunt you all with the bread again. So Rolls, there it is. There is the finished product. Yes. Ooh, bread. So the order is from 0 to 5. Yeah, it, from what I understand of the Yakuza series, is they didn't really make much ground in North America when they released it. Like, it didn't really hit. I remember owning the original Yakuza on PS2 back in the day. This was like, I don't know, 10, 12 years ago, I think. And I played a bit of it. I didn't really get into it. But then they started, I think Yakuza 0 was the one where it started really getting a fan base in North America. And then they did remakes of the first and second one. So that would be Yakuza Kiwami, I think it's called. Yakuza Kiwami 1 and Yakuza Kiwami 2. Those are the remakes of the first two games. And now they've released just kind of touched up versions of 3 to 5 on Steam now too. So there's not really a special order to play them in, you just do them numbered, because 0 is a prequel. But I think there's stuff you would get in 0 if you had already played the other games. But from what I've heard, it's structured that you can start with 0 as your first game, and get the whole thing as you go through. Although one thing that they do warn you about is that a lot of the things that they've developed for Yakuza 0 doesn't really carry over to some of the other games, like even Kiwami 1 and 2, even though those are remakes. Like, some of the stuff you can do in 0 are not in those two games. And 3 to 5 don't exactly have, like, quality of life improvements on account of the fact that, you know, they're just touched up and loaded. There was no Yakuza 1? It's 0 and then 2? And then onward from there? That doesn't seem right. Yeah, because on Steam, it's 0, Kiwami 1, Kiwami 2, and they've recently added 3 to 5. And I think 6 is a newer one. Ah yes, Zach, I Am Bread. That is a really weird video game, isn't it? I Am Bread. I think I own I Am Bread. That's something to plan for a stream someday. Just play that. What's the game plan for the bread? Just butter it up and eat it straight, making sandwiches? If so, what meats? I can't show the bread and taunt you like that. Well, I'll tell you what I did. What we did, what me and my girlfriend did, like when it freshly came out of the oven, what we did is, because I made it as a traditional 3-bun bread style, like we do, you know, like we do in Newfoundland anyway, and I'm sure they do in other places of the world too. So it was fresh, and we tore off the left bun. And this is a way that she usually eats it, apparently, when it's fresh out of the oven. I'd never done this myself, but you just have, like, the nice crusty bun on the... Well, hell, I can use the bread itself to show you what I mean. Like, you know, you've got... Say this is the bun, right? You tear that off, and it's fresh out of the oven. It's warm, so you just melt butter over the inside of it, and then you just start digging it out with a fork and just periodically adding more butter onto it as you go. And then you've got like this bowl of bread, and then you just start picking off bits of the crust bowl and dipping that in butter and eating that. That's how we ate a third of the bread. And I had a huge hunk of it today that I just melted cheese over and had with eggs. Like, I didn't toast it, I just popped it in the oven for a little bit to melt the cheese over the top of it, and then had it with eggs. This isn't going to wrap up well, is it? Damn it, bread. I've just been wrapping it in a towel to keep it moist. Got a dehumidifier, dries everything out. Oh no, you gotta get the real shit rather than just bagged up cold cuts. That reminds me, years ago, apparently this is going to be a bit of a story time before I actually start playing, but I'm on the topic of bread now. Years ago, a buddy of mine, this dude I used to live with when I went to college, guy, I've talked about him before. It's a friend of mine I've had since I was like 6, I think. It's the same guy I went to Heavy MTL with in most every concert I've ever gone to. You just checked your Steam? No Yakuza 1? Okay, I gotta... Before I carry on with the bread, I need to solve this, because I was... I think I... If I don't own Kiwami 1 on Steam, then at the very least it's on my wish list. We need to investigate something. As soon as I figure out where Steam is, I think that's Steam there. There we go. Alright, so like this is the same guy I went to all those concerts with and stuff like that. Anyway, we got it into our head one day because I've got this book of bread recipes that we're going to make bread. We're going to get drunk and we're going to make bread. And that's what we did for an entire day. So we made something called bastard loaf. Well, batard if you want to use the proper French name, and that's just like more or less a loaf of white bread, except it's got garlic, like mashed garlic and rosemary in it. And we made German beer bread, and specifically it was suggested to eat the beer bread as an open-faced sandwich with deli cuts. And there was a deli just down the road from like this really, really city-renowned deli down the road. So we strolled our half-cut asses down the road, and we got a bunch of fresh meat and some little fruit pies that they were selling from this deli, and some cheese, and we went up and we ate like a pile of bread and a pile of pastry, and we just drank all night. It was glorious. You know, adventures in baking. No, Yakuza Kiwami is on my Steam store. It doesn't have, like, 1 attached to it. It's not numbered. It's just called Yakuza Kiwami. So maybe that's why you're not seeing it. Like, the picture of it is it's got Kiryu on one side and this guy Nishiki on the other one. No, there is not a game called Yakuza Lust Machine, but that guy, the guy that we saw when I was playing it last, the dude who was in the Hostess Club in his underwear, just sort of dancing up a storm by the stairs, he shows up again later in the series. As a matter of fact, in Yakuza 7, which is played out more like an RPG, where you can actually summon characters, much like you can summon monsters in Final Fantasy, he is one of the summons. I believe he's called the Ultimate Masochist. I don't know what he does, but he just appears with a dominatrix. He's the ultimate lust machine, I don't know. Anyway, now that I've rambled on for 20 minutes about Yakuza and bread, I think I should probably start playing the game. Alright, so... yeah, see, there you go. Yeah, it's there, but it's a bit, I can see how you could probably miss it, because they kind of named it strange, because everything else has a number a number after it, like Yakuza Kiwami 2, which is the remake of the second game. But the remake of the first game is simply called Yakuza Kiwami, it's not numbered. Which wouldn't be a problem if they didn't already have Yakuza 0 in there, which then you'd think that's the first game, which it is, but I don't know. Anyway, it's confusing. Anyway, without further ado, let's dive into this finally.
It's me, Mario!
Da-da-da-da-da-da. You know we have to ruin his face. We have to ruin his face, it's been so long. Oh, that's terrible. Clearly the most entertaining and horrifying part of this game. Wait, can you grab his hair? No, it's just his ears. For whatever reason, I half remembered that you were able to grab the back of his hair somehow. It's not the case, though, it seems. Mario's face is basically when your aunt comes to visit. Yeah, pretty much. Actually, you know what? Rolls, you're there. You've got mod privileges. Add that to the quote list, will you? I feel like that's a good one. Mario's face is basically when your aunt comes to visit. Because it'd be even funnier without context. Yeah, I feel like Japanese bakeries are probably pretty gear, too.
Okie dokie.
I know, that's the fun thing. Nope, just put in the quote. Just put in the quote, Mario's face is basically when your aunt comes to visit. It'll say what game I'm playing, I think, with the default quote thing, but, it's funnier if people don't know what it means. I like how the first one that pops up when you hit quote, though, is that. Alright, so it occurred to me. There you go. It occurred to me that last time I played this, I was like, but where's Big Boo's haunt? Why am I not finding Big Boo's haunt? That's because it's back here and I completely missed it. This giant Boo right here has it. It's that birdcage. Go on a ghost hunt.
Let's go.
Come on in here. Is it you, or is Mario 64's controls slippery and you're not just used to it? No, it's... The Mario 64 controls are fairly... At the time it was revolutionary, but if you're used to playing more modern 3D platformers, this is jarring as hell, trying to play this. And honestly, it kind of feels off with the Switch version too. I don't know what it is. Psst. The boos are super shy. If you look them in the eyes, they fade away, but if you turn your back, they reappear. It's no use trying to hit them when they're fading away. Instead, sneak up behind them and punch. Or I can, you know, just backflip over them and weaponize my rear end. You don't stand a ghost of a chance in this house. If you walk out of here, you deserve a gold medal. The vanish cap is inside the blue block. Mr. I will be surprised since you'll be invisible when you wear it. Even the big boo will be fooled, and you can walk through secret walls too. Running around in circles makes some bad guys roll their eyes. And now I need to abuse the jump so that he keeps going wahoo and drive rolls insane. Wahoo! Unsubbing, unfollowing. Damn it, Rolls, you knew I was playing Mario, you knew that was going to happen. Bing bing wahoo just comes with the territory with this game. Yeah, especially if you're trying to compare this to Odyssey, because, you know, comparing this to Odyssey in terms of controls is like comparing a donkey cart to a spaceship. Or maybe it's like comparing Donkey Kong to a spaceship, I don't know. Let's go in through the back door. Booze! Ghosts, don't die! Can you get out of here alive? Is it going to tell me that every time I kill one? It's good that you got 3D All-Stars though. Oh yeah, wait, that's a painting or something I can jump into. Yeah, it's good that you got 3D All-Stars though, because I think Nintendo is still planning on doing that weird thing where they're going to just destroy it. Like, after a certain period of time, you cannot get this game anymore. Yeah, exactly that. Exactly that. Apparently, because like that Mario 35 kind of semi-battle royale game that they made too, that's going to be non-existent after March. I don't know if they've changed their mind on that yet, but that was the official story I had heard. Mr. I? Yeah, making it a timed exclusive on something that's only ever going to be on one console anyway seems like a weird choice, but as much as I love Nintendo, yes, Nintendo! As much as I love Nintendo, they are very much prone to making weird choices. No, I think Mario, I thought Mario 35 just will cease to exist after March. Which is kind of crappy, but at the same time the game was free, so you're not really out anything, but I thought that was the case, I might be wrong. Now this, on the other hand, if you own it, you own it. Yes, Nintendo! Ah yes, where Super Maria is the boss. Yeah, that's the off-brand version of Nintendo they don't tell you about. That's Bizarro World Mario. And Nintendo. Oh god, I'm gonna have to try to come up with some entire new thing now for that, aren't I? Nintendo, Super Maria. You gotta say Prince Beach. The Maria sisters. Maria Maria and Louise Maria. It's just a gender swap version of everybody, I guess. Okay, I can't actually do anything down here yet, I don't think. Oh, you raise a good point. Switch units that have 3D All-Stars, those could be expensive to resell, like how PS4 units that have PT are expensive when they resell. Good point. Because if they do stop distributing 3D All-Stars, if you've bought it, you still own it. Okay, I don't think there's anything down here except for the merry-go-round, and I can't do anything with that yet. But how do I escape? I don't know, maybe the elevator I came down on? Through here, yes? That's basically the bootleg Nintendo where their mascot is Mario, Link, and a green SpongeBob. And Superman. I've had enough of this world! Okay. Well, that's like those Flash games where you see it's Smash Brothers, except they've added all the characters that people keep wanting them to add in Smash Brothers. Like, I was watching somebody play a Flash version of Smash Brothers recently, and it was like a matchup between Rayman, Goku, Christ, who else was it? Luffy, and... Oh, the fourth one was somebody really weird. Who was it? I don't know, I can't remember. But anyway, the thing that the person who was playing that pointed out, it's no weirder than what Smash Ultimate is like now. I mean, think about it. You got Solid Snake fighting Steve from Minecraft, fighting Bayonetta, fighting Banjo-Kazooie. Yeah, it seems oddly arbitrary, what damages Mario, because you can get squished by the elevator and he's fine. Bravo. You win this time, Ghost. Yeah, the moment they added Banjo and Steve, it's already weird. I know, Smash was weird to begin with. I mean, at the very least, back in the very first one, it was all Nintendo characters, but even then, they were Nintendo characters you would never see together. Like, who would assume back then you'd see Samus Aran beating the crap out of Pikachu and Ness? That's what happens to you most of the time, and you just get irritated? Yeah. Almost happened again. Alright, come here, you bastard. I'm not gonna bounce off the wall this time. Yeah, Ghost don't die. At PlayStation All-Stars, that was one that was... It was clearly them trying to capitalize on the Smash Brothers formula, but they just didn't really... I don't know, there was something about it that didn't work for some reason. Nathan Drake from Uncharted fighting Big Daddy from BioShock. Yeah, it was Nathan Drake. Oh god, that's funny, because I recently watched a video that were like direct character interactions between everybody who fought in that. I think they called them like rivalry cutscenes or something like that. And apparently the rival to the Big Daddy was the Sackboy from Little Big Planet. And the whole thing was the little sister wanted to become the Sackboy's new friend, and the Big Daddy got upset about that because she said that she didn't need him anymore because she had the Sackboy. Some random villain from the Killzone series was there too, and when's the last time we had a Killzone game? Zeus from God of War was there too, except Zeus looked a lot younger for some reason. Boom! Here comes the Master of Mischief, the Tower of Terror, the Big Boo! There he is. Run away! I'm not going to deal with him just yet. I love that painting. It's so adorable. Getting crushed by a chair is not. Yeah, I'm gonna try to get the 100 coin star before I get anything else. It's easily enough done in this particular area because so many things give you five coins. Okay, this is it. This is the traumatic part of this, because imagine you're a kid. You're playing this game. You haven't seen anything terribly scary yet. Not really. Even though this is a haunted house. And then you're walking along. You see this piano. Looks perfectly fine. And then... that happens. And you need to fuck with the piano because that's how you get the red coin. Okay, I don't think I can actually get the star, can I? Get the 100 coin star yet. I think I've exhausted all the monies. Need to get up to the second floor, but I don't think I can get to the second floor till I get the first star. Although I can avoid getting the star. Yeah, let's avoid getting the star until I get the coins I need. Careful. Eh, stupid books. That's an interesting thing to think about, you know? The N64 traumatized so many people. Because you got that goddamn piano, there's everything that happens in Majora's Mask. The bottom of the well in Ocarina of Time is what nightmares are made of. Dead Hand is still probably the scariest Zelda enemy I've ever seen. And that's a pretty tough competition. Okay, let's go back in there and see if I can get a coin off that book. Though it might not come back. Nah. There we go. Oh, so there's this. Come on, I want it to... No? Alright. Like, there's a way you can get the coffin to squish you. And not like that, either. I mean, like, you can get the short end of the coffin to squish you. Yeah. Not gonna be able to get it to work. Well, the re-deads are terrifying, anyway. I remember the first time we got to Hyrule Castletown in the future in Ocarina of Time, and me and my brother saw that the place was ruined and just covered in re-deads, and we were like, oh my god, Ganon killed everybody! And it gave us a lot of anxiety. Like, of course, as an adult, knowing what you know about the game now, it's not too hard to get past the Redeads in Castletown. But Castletown is just so terrifying looking, and when the Redeads see you and they scream, excuse me, while I get murdered by books. Oh, I got low poly Mario for a little bit. Wait, can I get? I might not be able to get the 100 coin star yet. Yeah, I'm probably gonna have to come back later and get that. Damn it. Not the least of which because I'm going to be pelted to death by books. Yeah, I'll come back and get it later. I'm spoiled for choice for stars. Let's get the first one.
Here we go!
Yahoo! Of course, the only thing more unnerving than that piano in this game is the fact that Mario's hair does not match his mustache. Why is that, Mario? No, that's not how you do the, There we go. I don't know why. I don't know why I bothered with that. Ride Big Boo's merry-go-round. Yeah, I don't think I'll bother with a 100 coin star until I have to get the red coin star. Then I'll scour it for every coin in the joint. Elevator's too slow! Wah! This only reminds me, if you want to see something that's hilarious and adorable, just look it up on YouTube. It's going to be real easy to find. It's just videos of Charles Martinet, the guy who voices Mario and Luigi and Wario and Waluigi, I'm pretty sure. And he's just going around places with these little Mario and Luigi toys, and he's voicing conversations between the two of them depending on where he is. So like, they're talking about, I don't know, this restaurant they've gone to, or how nice this city looks, or what the weather is like one day. And Mario keeps making all these puns that go right over Luigi's head, and it's adorably priceless. You know what they say? Cold today, hot tamale. And Luigi's just like, I don't get it. Oh yeah, I forgot you need to fight Big Boo multiple times. Although, you know what? Screw it. I'm gonna get the 100 coin star now, because I know I'll be able to get it. Because I was only 9 coins off, and those 2 boos, at least 2 of those boos, would have given me 10, so. Deal with you later, Star! As soon as I remember how the hell I get out of here. It's not that confusing of a room. I don't know why I keep getting lost. Don't. Ooh, something else. It was something I was talking about on yesterday's stream, but of course, you know, BlizzCon was a thing that happened recently. And for me, the most interesting news was that, Diablo 2 Remastered, or Resurrected as they're calling it, is legitimately a thing. You can opt in to the testing alpha for that. You just need to go to a specific website for it. You just need a Blizzard account, a Battle Pass, or whatever the hell it is they call it. Opting in is not a guarantee that you'll get in on the alpha, but I mean, hey, you know, I did. I love Diablo 2, so I wouldn't mind getting some early access on it. And the thing about it, right? This is me comparing it to Fallout 76, because I remember when I saw 76 first, I was like, I don't know if that is a game I'd really be into, because I don't play Fallout for, you know, gee, I'd like this to be multiplayer. But I saw that they were doing beta for it, and I was like, well, maybe I'll get in on the beta. You know, see if I like it. And, see, typically, right, when a game does beta, because you're basically doing testing for them. I mean, I'm sure you all know this. Basically what it is they'll, like, you know, in some rare cases, you'll be able to play the game for free up to a point. And in most cases, they'll have you pay like 10 or 15 bucks or something like that. Whatever it is, it's going to be less than the full price. Not so with Fallout 76. Fallout 76, to get in on the beta, you had to pre-order the game, so you're spending up here in Canada at least $79.99 to get in on the beta for a game that was famously broken when it was fully released. So I'm glad I didn't bother with that, is what I'm saying. But yeah, no, for the Diablo thing, it's like you just opt into it. Maybe you end up getting it, maybe you don't, but you don't have to pay anything for it from what I've seen. They specifically tell you that you can pre-purchase Diablo 2 Resurrected. But they tell you that it doesn't get you an alpha key. So they specifically say, you know, you don't have to pay to get into it, basically. I don't know why I'm running around in circles. I've already looked in every room on the first floor, haven't I? No, I haven't. Oh god, the piano. Come on, would you? Dumb. I get vibes from the piano scene in Resident Evil because of that thing for some reason, even though the piano in Resident Evil is one of the few things in that mansion that's not trying to eat you. Whoops! Yeah, we got it this time. Whoa! Here, I'll get this star and I'll dive back down into the basement. Get the star that's down there. There it is.
Here we go!
Oh, Jesus. And that's why you don't dive into the shallow end, kids. Flatten out like an accordion.
Here we go!
Look out, Mario, they're behind you! I'll get a couple more stars and then I might actually go fight Bowser. Because I want to get upstairs before I get 70 stars so you can see the, never-ending staircase. Secret of the Haunted Books. It's not that secret, I've already solved it. The secret of Mario's intense brain trauma. Now, was that in here? Yes. Run, low poly Mario, run! I like how some of the stars and the levels in these games are like multi-tiered things that you really have to work at, and others you can get within 5 seconds of getting into the level.
Here we go!
Boom! Yeah, we'll get... till I get up to 60, maybe. Seek the 8 red coins. Whoa! Come on, Mr. Piano Man. Sing me a song, scary piano man. Punch on my soul tonight. But I want it. Okay. I swear, one day I will kick a chair out of the air. No, there's not one in here, is there? I do like how you can kind of see a boo in the door, if they're really close enough to you. No! I knew I was going to do that. I knew it. It's a good thing most of these levels aren't very big, so it's not really that much of a nuisance when you get sidetracked like that. Which is always nice. Now we breakdance! Woo! Screw you, I! Wait, no, there's still one down here, yes. Careful. Alright. Ah! I missed it! Gaze at low poly Mario and all his horror. Scariest thing in this building. Nope. I like how I have absolutely no memory of the layout of this place. I need to check every door every time. Brain starts going in your old age. It's true. Where does this go, anyway? Oh, it drops you down here, which could in turn drop you all the way down to the basement. I gotcha. Misjudged.
Here we go!
Famous last words. Where does this go? Mario gets dropped into the bowels of hell. You know what? Let's actually go deal with Bowser now and head upstairs. I'll come back down and finish up the places I got left down here. Because I think I didn't get all the ones in the cave either, did I? Yeah, oh no, I've got nowhere near all of them in Hazy Maze Cave. Four, 5, 6, 7, 8. No, it's not up here. It's down here. Because there's a completely different world in here, and I need to get the first star before I can fight Bowser. Board Bowser sub. It's one of those levels with really chill music, even though you can drown to death. I forget, what's in these chests? Death! Electrified death. Oh god, nope! That's probably a star. Let's ignore that for now. Man rules, if you feel like a broken record, I feel like I'm a broken record every time I say it. It's like the one thing I really love about video games is the music. And you're entirely right, the Mario series has spot-on music, no matter what Mario game you're talking about. One thing Super Mario 64 doesn't excel at, other sounds. I think you're just coming down too hard on it because you don't like woohoo! Every other sound is fine. Well, maybe not the penguin crying, but not as grating as Mario himself crying in Yoshi's Island, though. Oh, I think I might need to do this to get a star. Damn it. I can't miss them, though, is the problem. One thing Super Mario 64 doesn't excel at is controls. Yeah, swimming in this game in particular is quite the nuisance. Alright, let's come down right on top of it. There we go. Now I just need to get it. One of these clam boys have a shell? No? Okay. How about you? No? I'm dying here. Oh, you got it. You got it. Damn it! Pick up a couple of coins. Get in there. Oh, you're kidding me! Ah, I'm gonna need to get the metal cap. You don't like it as it questions your skill as someone who's played a lot of platform games? Yeah. See, that's the thing. There's something about this particular generation of game, and it's not just the N64, it can be the PlayStation 2. Not the PlayStation 2, though, sometimes, but the original PlayStation, PS1, is that unlike a lot of, say, really good 16-bit games, even the really good games from this era have really wonky controls, because that's something I noticed when I've played a couple of other N64 games. Rolls, for example, can tell you all the trouble I had with Shadows of the Empire. And I think it's just because it was all such new technology at the time, they just didn't know what the hell they were doing. Figuring out how the camera system worked was a big one, I know. Sometimes, if you pass through a coin ring or find a secret point in a course, a red number will appear. Trigger 5 red numbers, a secret star will show up. I know, I just can't reach the star. Okay, there we go, that'll give me that star. I can't see what's happening. What? Where am I? See what I mean about the camera? What's happening? Okay, there I am.
Here we go!
Now granted, Shadows just had wonky controls, period. The N64 was by far a unique system, but I play GoldenEye maybe once every 3 to 4 months. Each time you have to refamiliarize yourself with the controller. That's fair. That's fair. Got a good point there, Rolls. And boss fights in Shadows of the Empire sucked in a difficult way. Yeah, how long ago was it I streamed that? I think it was a year and a half, I think I streamed it.
Let's go!
And oh my god, how many times did IG-88 kill me? And he's not even one of the more difficult bosses in the game. The goddamn gladiator droid at the end of it is a nightmare. The only thing about a lot of the bosses in that game, especially near the end, because the Diagnoga, or whatever the hell it is, the one-eyed sewer monster that you fight at the end, near the end of the game, the disruptor attack, the disruptor ammunition that you can get for your blaster, if you time it just right, you can glitch the game out and kill certain bosses. Like the Diagnoga, if you can fire off a I just called the thing by its name. Whatever the blaster thing was that is like the super fuck you weapon. My mind is going, I swear. Anyway, if you fire that thing off at just the right time... Disruptors, yeah, there you go. Thank you, Rolls. If you fire that off at just the right time, when you walk into the Diagnoga's, probably even pronouncing the name wrong, battle arena just before the water completely fills, if you fire it just right, and hit it just right, you'll kill it before the fight even starts. I kept trying to do it, but I couldn't pull it off. Yeah, there you go, thank you for that, Rolls. Yes, if you want to see my, Shadows of the Empire stream, you can go to YouTube. I've got it all posted there. It's probably not terribly well organized, but there should be a Shadows of the Empire playlist. Yeah, some fun streams there. Rolls says the last one he commented on was the Night of the Consumers one. I'm never going back to that game. Never.
Here we go!
Of course, the other comical thing about checking out my past streams on YouTube, I've posted all of them there. And I mean, all of them. And even though I'm not a terribly big streamer, as you can see, I've been streaming for quite some time. And it's fun to watch the earlier ones and track how, anytime I feel like I'm really sucking at doing this, I go back and I look at my earliest streams and I see how I've improved the technical side of things as time has gone on. Because my very first stream that I did was Fallout 4, and I screwed that one up so badly I lost the first half of it because I didn't set Twitch to save the VOD after I streamed. So I say you love how Streamlabs, just seconds after you do the YouTube command, decides now is a good time to post the YouTube link. The bot's got it out for you. I don't know what to tell you. I can't remember if there's 100 coin stars in these areas or not. I don't think there is. Bowser in the Fire Sea. As we'll get the extra coinage though for extra lives. Another note about the YouTube channel is I'm pretty behind on posting vids, so I'm only just now getting through my Spooktacular stream, the Halloween one I do every year. Nope, nope, nope. Oh, that actually was rather lucky. Ow. You know what, screw you. Now, there are red coin stars in this area, though. Oh, Goombas. Such a major feature in so many other Mario games, but now they're here just cuz. Ah! Actually, now speaking of the YouTube channel, come to think of it, I haven't posted a clip video in a while either. I think I was working on an Animal Crossing one, but then I just kind of let it go for a while. I have to work on that some more. There's a lot of ways that could have gone wrong. I suppose the one good thing is I can't fall out of this level, but the bad thing is it's full of fire. Can't fall into the void, can get a torch took us. Man, I really keep misjudging the time for the long jump. Lego blocks. So long, jerk. Haha, twofer. Coins? How'd you end up over there? Such weirdness. I like all the crazy shit they throw at you in these areas too, because it's like, oh yeah, let's just make these platforms rise and fall for some reason. That makes sense, right? Random Bob-omb for no reason. Oh no, Bob Hobbs, excuse me, that's what I've been calling them. Random Bob Hobbs. Yeah, oh no. Fire. Ow. I played... Damn it. I played technically the N64 version of Shadows of the Empire. I say technically because it was a totally legit, it was an emulator version of it. I didn't play the one that's on Steam. If the stream ends up cutting off sometime in the next couple of minutes, it just means Mario has come at me through the screen. Because I said the E word. I heard you said the E word. That means death. That's a terrible Mario voice. The only time I can emulate Mario is when I go, Yahoo! So I heard you like to play the emulators. Now I'ma break your fingers. Yahoo!
Here we go!
Don't. Pestering me again, are you, Mario? Can't you see that I'm having a merry little time, making mischief with my minions? Now return those stars. My troops in the walls need them. Oh yeah, this is a new trick that he does. This version of Bowser looks so different than every other version of Bowser, you heard me, Bowser. Come on. Come on. Just looking for some tail, man! Wait. Oh, that's only within the realm of fanfic. Damn it. The Bowser theme in this game is really good too, though. The last Bowser theme is pretty epic. Oh yeah, that's a thing you do too now, isn't it? It'd be real fun if you teleported yourself off the stage. Why am I having such a hard time getting... There! Now watch me miss. I always hated this. That's not how you throw them.
Bye-bye!
Bye-bye! Oh yeah, you only have to get them once in these two battles. Oh, can it be that I've lost? Power of the stars has failed me. This time. Consider this a draw. I don't know, I think I'm up 2-0 at this point. Next time I'll be in perfect condition. Now if you want to see your precious princess, come to the top of the tower. I'll be waiting. Bye-bye. Yeah, I know you can get Shadows of the Empire on Steam, but I think there's different places you can get it. It might be on GOG too, I don't know. That would very much be a game that should be remade. I would love to see a remake of Shadows of the Empire. And it seems like, what with Star Wars being owned by Disney now, that they're planning on releasing a pile of new video games, so... maybe a remake of Shadows wouldn't be all that much out of the question. Now, it seems like the one that they announced during the Nintendo Direct the other day is kinda like a Fortnite kind of thing, so I don't know how I feel about that, but if I'm remembering correctly. Because I think they've got one called War of the Bounty Hunters or something that's coming out. Which was the name of a book that was in the old Legends continuity. Anyway, I'm gonna go back downstairs and finish off the stars and Big Boo's haunt and stuff. But once I get 70 stars, I can just finish the game, so I want to show you the never-ending staircase. I'm sure you've all seen it before, but I would be remiss if I didn't experience it. There's something strange about that clock. As you jump inside, watch the position of the big hand. Oh, look what I found. Here, Mario. Catch. Do you know what looks like the big hand of a clock, Mario? I'll have to show you sometime. Because in case you're not familiar, Toad is a creepy pervert. That's just who he is to my mind.
Here we go!
Do Nintendo and Disney play nice in the sandbox together? That's what keeps the GoldenEye remake from happening. So the licenses are held by like 5 different companies that aren't necessarily the best of friends. Yeah, I keep forgetting that about, well, even just the James Bond franchise in general. That's after going through so many hands, nobody knows who owns what now. Come to think of it, that's the reason why. Do you remember? It's not as big as Dead by Daylight, which is the big serial killer is hunting a group of players and you need to cooperate and get away game. But there was a Friday the 13th game that was briefly really big about 3 or 4 years ago. And I think that ended up getting more or less cancelled, like the servers got taken down. And the reason why is because I think the rights to only some of the Friday the 13th movies, not all of them, but some, it's tanglier than a bag of fishhooks trying to figure out the legality of it. To open the door that leads to the endless stairs, you need 70 stars. That's a lie. I've opened it. But yeah, this happens. Warp speed! Now, if the backwards long jump glitch worked still in this version of the game, you could go so fast that you would blow past this. Again, it's surprisingly seamless, but in the 3DS remake of this game, they give you a mini-map, and it kind of breaks the illusion, because it shows your little character icon just getting teleported back a couple of feet every couple of seconds. Whoops. Speaking of something that's GoldenEye adjacent, though, speaking of something that I thought we were never going to get another one of, and I haven't heard anything about it since, but during one of the game shows, or whatever the hell it was, I don't know if it was the Game Award shows or something like that, they showed a trailer for a new Perfect Dark game, and I don't know if it's a remake, or if it's just a reboot, or what, but I really loved Perfect Dark on the N64, so I'm looking forward to that. Problem is, it might be an Xbox exclusive, and I don't really plan on getting one. Because that's what ended up happening there. Rare ended up getting more or less exclusively contracted out to Microsoft, and that's why we never got any more Rare games for Nintendo. Metalhead Mario can move! I can't remember if I got the 100 coin star here. No, I didn't. Yeah, I've only got 29. Alright. Why are they giving me the metal cap here? I must need it for something nearby, I just can't remember what. Oh, it's a reboot, not just a remake. Okay, well, I'm fine with that. I think I need the metal cap and I need to run over here for some reason. Or do I? But for what purpose? Do I need it in the lake? The lake's down this way, I think. Oh god! Ow. No, I need the things. Now I need to die. Okay, I think I need this for something at the bottom of the lake. Let's see. Okay, we legit have a trail I can follow. The switch. I need the switch. Perfect. What's this say? Underground lake. Right, middle cave, left abandoned mine, closed. A gentle sea dragon lives here. Pound on his back to make him lower his head. Don't become his lunch. You just told me it's gentle. Why would it eat me? And if it's gentle, why would I pound its back? Oh, Mario's quite often cruel to animals, I guess. Oh, yeah. Getting the star is kind of a nuisance, if I remember correctly. Okay, good. Oh, there we go. Yeah, Perfect Dark is one I should do one Retro Sunday. Thing about that is, though, I don't think I've ever finished Perfect Dark, so that should be interesting. Navigating the toxic maze. Where is the toxic maze? Over on the right. Easy maze. Which the cave is named for. This looks like this was probably a terrible place to work. You think you rented Perfect Dark one weekend, but even that you're not, even then you're not 100% sure that you did. Long way of saying you don't think you ever played it. It was like GoldenEye, except it had a lot more improvements, is the best way to put it. And if I remember correctly, the multiplayer for Perfect Dark was absurdly good for the time. I think it might have been one of the first games that actually let you use bots in multiplayer, for that matter. And the bots were relatively good, if I remember correctly. Alright, so the Hazy Maze is over here. I'll come in and get the 100 coin star later. Let's just focus on getting the other things for now. I will get as many coins as I can, though. Hidden inside the green block is the amazing metal cap! Wearing it, you won't catch fire or be hurt by enemy attacks. Don't even have to breathe while wearing it. The only problem is too heavy to swim with. Is there one here? No, it must be further down. Within the haze. The haze of the maze. Danger ahead, beware of the strange cloud. Don't inhale. If you feel faint, run for the higher ground and fresh air. See if I can choke to death. Hey look, it's Monty Mole. Oh, I cannot destroy him permanently. No, the hole of my doom, the fire of my doom. I don't know where the coins are. Where are the coins? Oh, it doesn't matter. Is this the exit? Yeah, it's the exit. Now, of course, the multiplayer in GoldenEye is that's just what legends are made of. I feel like I've talked about this on stream before, but I remember one time I was watching my oldest brother play GoldenEye. He was specifically in the first Siberia level, and he just started getting wave after wave of guard to come after him, you know, as you do, just to see how long you'd last. And he was in the central satellite tower, and he was just fighting off all the dudes, all the guards. And he opened up a door at one point, or no, he was standing outside and he heard a door open up. So he turned around to fight off the guard that was coming through, and it was one of like the ones wearing the snowsuit. And it's one of my earliest memories of a bizarre video game glitch, because it was one of the snowsuit guards, but he was standing in the door. And he didn't have a weapon. He was just standing there stock still with his arms by his hands. His arms by his hands. Oh my god, what's wrong with me tonight? His arms by his sides. His hands were probably there too, somewhere, who knows. But he's there with his arms by his sides. And there's like a split second where you can register he's there, something's wrong, he doesn't have a weapon, and then he exploded. You would hope his arms were by his hands. Well, after he exploded, who knows where his hands were in relation to his arms. But he just went up in flames, and my brother, like, died then, you know. Because of the incredible exploding Soviet guard. And I've never seen that happen again, and I don't know if that ever happened to anybody else playing that game, but that was a thing that happened. Maybe it's some kind of bizarre, oddly specific fever dream I had as a child, but that was a thing that happened. I get the distinct feeling I did not go to the right star, but this one's mine now. As long as I can avoid falling into the terrible abyss. The abyss of doom. Might even be the abyssal doom. That bat sounds like it's getting closer. I don't like it. Hooray!
Here we go!
Amazing emergency exit.
Let's go.
Alright, only two more and the 100 coin star. I feel like it's going to be a nuisance to get all the 100 coins in this particular level. Nope. Too soon. I need your coins for my health. Okay, so I gotta come out that way. Damn it! Local man sucks at old Mario game. Alright, so that's the emergency exit that I just went through. What's this one? This is a completely different one, isn't it? Yeah, this leads me to that one. Although maybe that is the one, I don't know. Who knows?
Here we go!
Oh, that's it. Navigating the toxic maze. Alright, well let's go in and get those last 2 stars, and that'll be this level done. Watch for rolling rocks!
Let's go!
Hey, where's the star over there? I don't know, whatever. Let's just go on a coin hunt for now. I know where I have to go. I'll head over that way later. I have to go to the very depths of hell! I'm not certain I need them all to get the 100 coin star, but I may as well get the red coins while I'm at it. Speed things along a little bit. I think there's weird glitchy things speedrunners can do with these particular enemies too. The weird little bug dudes. I went through a whole list of speedrunning tricks a while ago when I first started streaming this, and well, they wouldn't work in this particular version of the game anyway, but it was going in one ear and out the other. It was bizarre. There was just so much shit you can do in this game. The backwards long jump, of course, being the most famous, but there's so many other things you can do, apparently. Ah! I went squish! I need your coin, eye. Am I going to be able to get... I wasn't even moving that fast. Come on now. The other really frightening thing about this game, though, is the fact that Mario's injured noises are just so visceral. And him drowning or suffocating is disturbingly realistic. Because there's some sick fucks at Nintendo, apparently. Just saying. I require the coin at your heart, eyeball. Would eyes even have hearts? Oh, he's real close to the edge, though. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to... Oh, well, that was easy. Thank you! Excuse me while I fail to jump up onto this ledge. I need to get over to that one, don't I? Was there something at the top of this? No. No, there was not. I'll probably leap over that gate, but don't wanna. Careful. Need the coins. Greed is good. Yeah, the music in this game is so good, though. Like, everything is tailored to each level so well. Even though, you know, some tracks are used for more than one level. But it fits. Ow. Listen here, you son of a bitch. Fly over here and do that to me again! I'll have you. Or not. Okay, I won't go back into the maze unless I absolutely need to. Let's see if I can find the rest of the coins I need elsewhere. Where's this go? No, black hole. Which I think is where I need to go for the last star anyway. What did I say? This is the best N64 game or something else? I don't know, that's tough, because I didn't actually have a lot of N64 games growing up, I don't think. We rented a bunch. Crap. But I don't remember having a lot of N64 games. This was certainly the one to beat, I'll say that. There was one called Mischief Makers I remember was really good on the N64 that most people don't remember. There was another one, oh wait, no, why am I forgetting this? Mystical Ninja starring Goman. That's something I tried to stream a while ago, but I couldn't get it to work. That's something I need to do. That might be my favorite N64 game, which is insane to say, but I loved it. I loved it as a kid. It was one of the first really big open-world games I ever played. And it was just so weird and hilarious, and oh, I need to play that again. The game was so good. Because not only did that game have some bizarre humor anyway, when they translated it, they've tried to put in some more English-speaking specific weird humor, but they left in some of the weird Japanese humor, and it was just this one god-awful mess that was beautiful to behold. Had some really good gameplay too, though. I don't know, it's weird. I'd say the Super Nintendo is probably the system I'm most nostalgic for, because that's the one I would consider myself growing up with. Like, we had a Nintendo, but I didn't play a lot of the Nintendo that we had. The Super Nintendo was when I really started grasping how video games worked, so that was like the one for me. But I have a lot of fond memories of the N64 too, so... The only NES game you played was Super Mario Bros. 3? Oh, we had a bunch. We had a bunch that were really weird. These are other ones I need to do for Retro Sunday sometime. But we had something called Astyanax, I think it was. We had one called Eight Eyes. Wizards and Warriors was one I played a lot of. The original Mario Brothers, of course, and Duck Hunt. Some kind of weird roller derby one. The original Ninja Gaiden, which I could never get through. Probably wouldn't even be able to get through to this day. I thought there were more coins down here, but I guess not. I think there might be some coins up on the island, though, so I'll go check that out. I don't think there's any down here. A friend of mine grew up playing one called Kickmaster that I was going to stream once, but I never got around to it. I should try that. I played a little bit of Kickmaster. I'm probably not going to be able to finish it. Because it's one of those brutally hard, maybe not really well made NES games. You threw Turok 2 on your N64. Threw in Turok 2 on your N64 about a year ago to try to play through it. Game you never beat as a kid. Let me tell you, it was damn near unplayable with an upscaler. Yeah. That's the other problem too when we're talking about older games like that. Turok, the original Turok, that's another one we played a lot of on the N64. We never owned it, we had to rent it. Oh wait, another weird one that's actually a pretty good contender for my favorite N64 game, I think you were here when I was streaming it, was Hybrid Heaven. Because Hybrid Heaven was such a weird goddamn game, and I don't think there's ever been a game like it since. And I thoroughly enjoy that game. There's a lot of things that are wrong with it, don't get me wrong, but it was so ungodly ambitious. Because it was an RPG, it was a brawler, it was a wrestling game, it had a little bit of shooter elements involved. It's me getting run over by a boulder. And again. Oh, I'm possibly going to die now. Oh, what's this way? Give me your coins. Coins are life. That's one I'm not going to get. Alright, that leads me back here. Now I'm gonna have to go down to the hazy maze. Unless I need to go into the metal cap area to get the last few coins, which is entirely possible. It'll be a nuisance if that's the case, but that's entirely possible. Some of these levels make it pretty hard to get all the coins you need. Because I'm at 66 now and I'm at a loss to find the rest of them. I know there's a line of them in here, and there should be a bunch down below. Okay, yeah, you probably came in just after Hybrid Heaven. No, I think there was somebody else who dropped by the stream a lot back then who was watching me play Hybrid Heaven. Can't remember who that was. I think it was somebody called... was it Noxmoo or something, I think was that person's username? I haven't seen them in a while. But no, Hybrid Heaven is great. It's super weird, but it's great. Damn it, Mario. Okay, I gotta get all these goddamn bats. Get all these goddamn bats and not die. Where'd it go? Get over here. I need your blood! Give me your blood! Oh no. I'm gonna die. I'm gonna die down here. Where are the coins? Where are the coins? Where are the coins? Where are the coins? Where the hell are they? Oh, there's one there. Shit. I'm gonna need to come back in, aren't I? Yes, yes, you started dropping by when I was playing Link's Awakening. That's what it was. Yes, I remember now. Yeah, I gotta get that metal cap and find my way out of here. Oh, where is it? I need it. Oh, I got 91 coins. 9 more. Excuse me. Thank you. You arrived March 3rd, 2019 with a message saying good luck. That was the triumphant arrival of Rolls. Considering some of the trouble I had with the original Link's Awakening, I needed it. Wait, can I even get out of here without getting a star? I think I might be able to get out that way, by severely injuring myself. First and foremost, though. Oh, is the block gone? Son of a bitch! If I need that to get the last couple of coins, I am going to be livid. Wow, there's gotta be a couple I'm missing somewhere. Hello, why is this? If I'm not going to be able to get all the coins in this level, because I missed like one blue coin, I am going to be aggravated. Slightly cross. You know where I can find some coins? Up top where I have to go to get the star for coming through here. But if I get them all, they're going to show up on top of the goddamn grate and I won't be able to get it. Well, I may as well go up and get a couple of them just so I can get myself closer to my goal. It's not the way out. It's the way out. That's a way out. Place isn't that big. How am I getting lost so badly? Oh wait, no. Let's leave that bat alive. I'll come back down and get him after. That'll be where I get my last coin. I just have to be very careful not to get too many up here. Alright. 1, 2, 3. I can do it! I've got it this time! Come here, you little bastard. You bastard. Bat-stirred? Bat-stirred. Yeah, okay, we'll go with that. No! No, you need to die! There. Oh my god.
Here we go!
Well, actually though, come to think of it, if your first arrival on the stream was March 3rd, 2019 with a message saying good luck, yes. That means we're coming up pretty close to the 2-year anniversary of you being a viewer. I don't know that I've ever had anybody watching me for that long, to be honest. I remember there was one dude who watched me pretty regularly back when I first started, but he doesn't seem to come by anymore. Oh, I need to get out of here without dying. Oh, this way. Yes, it's this way. Okay, let's see if I can get the last star. I think I might be above the area the rocks come down. Nope. Yeah, I think it's up there. I think I might need to wall jump. to get up there. Yeah, that's it. Ta-da! Something over on the other side. Okay.
Here we go!
Yes! That's another world down. Now, have I gotten 100 coins on all of them yet? Okay, I've got them there. 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 Okay, so yeah, it's just Dar Dar Docks and Big Boo's Haunt. Let's go start dealing with the ones in Dar Dar Docks then. It's funny, I originally was coming in this being like, well, I don't need to get all the stars, but no, now I need to get all the stars. I think there's 120 total? Chests in the current! Okay, note to self, don't fuck this up, because if I do, I die. Hello, Manta Ray. That's one! I'm not gonna go to the chest in the center until I'm certain I need to go to that one. Because if I get shocked by that, then it's game over, man. I'm in the current. I think there's only 4, so that should be the last one. No! No! Damn it! Swim! Swim! Don't be like me, swim! Yeah, see if I can skim it. Nope, I'm gonna have to come at it head on. Let's get some coins. Top up my health. Go, go, go! Ram into the shark. No, that's my star. Bastard, I need it. Alright, I'm gonna have to go pee and get myself a drink of water. I will be right back. Well, we'll carry on with the direness of the Dar Dar Docks. You know, I got myself a glass of water and then I came over here without the glass of water. That's kind of... well, I mean, it's just a thing I would do, isn't it? No, I was going to say, did I leave you with Sleepy Mario dreaming about spaghetti and pasta fazool, but I paused the game, so that didn't happen. Much to our detriment. Pole jumping for red coins! Pole dancing for red coins! No, that's a completely different Mario game. We don't talk about that. But I'm not going to get that coin. Or star. I'm going to get this one instead. I'm a rebel and I can't do things in order. I'm a rebel and can't do things correctly out of order. Oh, and of course it's right above the goddamn whirlpool. Stay on target. There we go. Worst feeling in the world, I'll grab a soda out of the fridge, leave it on the kitchen counter, then walk away 10 minutes later, frantically look for it. I'm usually not bad for that, but sometimes.
Let's go.
One thing I'm bizarrely really bad for, I suppose, is looking for things on my computer, because I'm not great at organizing files. It's a problem. My desktop is probably the cleanest it's been, but at the same time, I've got, I'd say, at least 25 or so loose icons kicking around that don't need to be on there. I think the first laptop I ever had was a mess. It was just wall-to-wall icons for no reason. Nothing was, like, compartmentalized in a folder. It was just shit everywhere. I'm sure that speaks quite a bit about my mentality. Seeing as how I gotta get the right coins, let's see if I can get the 100-star coin while I'm at it. I get to hear more of this incredibly chill tune while I'm probably going to be murdered by a cyclone. You know, I mentioned how terribly this game controls, especially when you're trying to swim, but at the time this came out, this was mind-blowing. Like swimming in a fully 3D space. It's one of those fallacies of logic where you're like, when you're a child and you're looking at a game like this, you're like, video games are never gonna get better than this. These graphics look so real! Any coins down here? Star? No, I don't think there's any coins down here. There's a big scary piece of coral. Coral! Where do I go from here? Coinage! Ah yes, now the beat comes in. Sometimes you pass through a coin ringer. Yeah, no, I've already read that one. It's all good, thanks. Oh my... Oh, okay, I probably have to jump up there. Excuse me while I get confused. Where am I supposed to be? Oh, it's over here. Alright, never mind. Wrong one. Man, I gotta be missing a bunch of coins somewhere. Like, does this level change more when I find more coins? Damn it. Or were there a bunch back in the other area that I missed? That's entirely possible. I'll tell you what, let's get all the red coins, and if I can't see any more around here, I'll backtrack. Because I'd like to get them all right now if I can. Hi. Ooh. May have played that one a little too fast and loose. I didn't even need to jump. I could have stayed right there. You fool! You foolish fool! Say, aside from a couple of instances where I have to cross over, like over there, I can just slide off the pole. Whee! Screw that up. Now the question is, where are these coins going to show up when I stomp that block? Oh no. Oh no. Right here. And there's a bunch of them. Okay, good. That'll... I don't think that'll get me everything, but it'll get me close. 30 coins give you quite the boost. Okay, the other one's over there. Gotcha. I do a little bit of backtracking. No big deal. Alley-oop. Oh, I almost mistimed that. Oh, great, I gotta jump onto that one while they're both in motion. Fun times. Wait, do I have to cross over, or... Okay, no, they're slightly out of sync. Now! Alright, I'm missing 10 coins. I gotta go on a hunt. I don't think there's any in the shells, because there weren't any when I looked last time. There's just a shell in a shell. It's like putting a hat on a hat. I may have made a mistake. I may drown. No, I'm good. I'm good. I can make it. And down here we have... the Whirlpool of Death. Oh, there's coins here. Perfect. I don't know if there's 10 of them, but... I knew I must have been missing some out here. Oh no, 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 no! Jesus, swim! Okay, now swim up top. Avoid the sharks. Don't drown. Although you can, like, just have your toes come up above the water, and you won't drown. I guess Mario's entire skin is permeable. He can breathe through anything. I'm willing to bet this level changes a bit when you get to another star, and that's where the last few coins are. And if that's the case, I am going to be infuriated that I spent the entirety of this time trying to get as many as I could. And I remember reading that some levels were awful for this. And I think this is one of them. Come on. Come on. Oh, Jesus. Okay. Yeah, because I'm missing 7 coins and I don't know where they could be. Unless I have to destroy these fish somehow and get them from them. But I don't think there's a shell out here. Oh well, let's just go get the coin. Not the coin, the star. Save the 100 coin star for the end of it. Your dreams of capitalistic greed will not be satiated today, Mario. Not really, that's more of a Wario thing. Yeah, I'm gonna do one more scan around the bottom of this area. Maybe I'm missing them somewhere. There might be a string of them somewhere that I didn't see. Wait. Oh, of course! They just didn't spawn in when I was over here before. Bit screwy, but there we are. Yeah, this is one of the levels I read about that was kind of bad trying to get all the coins, because there's exactly 101. Because I think that's all of them. You found 70 power stars! The mystery of the endless stairs is solved. What mystery? Thanks to you. And is Bowser ever upset? Now, on to the final bout. No. You can't make me. I love that that's a thing in this game, that you don't even need every star. And the way they have it set up, you don't even need to go in every level. Like, I haven't gone into a single level on the top floor, and now I don't need to. I could finish the game without seeing any of them. But some of those levels are really cool, so of course I'm going to.
Here we go!
Hell, I probably could have cut out a level or two down here, too. The invisibility cap.
Let's go!
Oh, I can't exit because I don't have this star yet. Fuck it. I got the lives. Embrace the sweet sting of death.
Mamma mia!
Alright, I need to get the invisible cap before I can get that star. And I think I need to get that through Big Boo's haunt. Because I think if I finish Big Boo's haunt, I can drain the moat? Is that how that works? I think that's how that works. Big Boo's balcony.
Let's go!
I'll see if I can remember how the hell I get up there. There's a certain spot I need to go to. It's here, I think. Where is it? Yep, this is it. Hidden room, hidden room. I feel like there's something in there, but I can't get to it because I don't have the thing. How many times do I have to teach you this lesson, Big Boo? Do not eat me, I'm but little baby. Oh, I need to get up on top of the goddamn roof. Oh shit, no! First you don't succeed, try again. It'll only make your failure that much funnier. Woohoo! Nope. Okay, yeah. Yeah, I gotta jump so far up and then keep running. Nope. Yeah, long jumps. Long jumps hurt. No! The back of the... No! Thankfully, Mario has an ass of steel. Double kill! Yeah, I do remember getting this star to be quite the nuisance. I know there are multiple types of speedruns of this game. I guess there must be a speedrun that involves you getting every single star, because I know you can glitch it so that you can get no stars whatsoever and still finish it. But there must be one with the prerequisite that you get everything. And I could only imagine a star like this one must be a pain in the ass. For precisely these reasons. Maybe if I just don't run, you know? How's about I slow down and take my time? Mario increasingly more battered and broken, constantly climbing up to the roof of this building. This is truly Big Boo's revenge. It was a little bit off. Okay. Alright. And down. Fuck yeah! I did it!
Here we go!
Hooray! Alright, one more. Eye to eye in the secret room.
Let's go!
I need the invisible cap. Where the hell do I get the invisible cap? I thought it was in the moat somewhere, and I thought I drained the moat from here, but... I think one of the signs gave me a hint? The Boos are super shy. Alright. Okay, no. Well, the quickest star for me to get out of here would probably be the one up in the library. Alright, so it's not up here, I get it. I know I need to drain the moat. I must be forgetting how. Because I thought I had to do something in here to do it, but maybe it's something in Dar Dar Docks.
Here we go!
No, I think the moat drains when Bowser's sub leaves. I think that's what it is, so the moat must have already drained. To the outside! Yeah, I think it's... No! What? But how? I legitimately cannot remember how the moat drains. There's nothing over on that side, is there? No. Well, it wouldn't be out here anyway. Because I need to open up that grate, I think, somehow. And I'm pretty sure it's adjacent to a level. Much like the metal cap was. Maybe it's just a side door or something I missed down here? Can I get up here? No, because I'm not going to be able to long jump. Wait, isn't there a side door down here somewhere that I missed? Maybe. Yes, right here. Yes. I think this is it. There we go, that's better. It is decreed that one shall pound the pillars. Okay. I mean, sure, I may as well follow the random declaration I just found on the wall. Mario is legally obligated to perform every action he reads on a sign. I like how there's just 2 coins hanging out there. I know I can get the wing cap and get them, but I don't know if they serve any purpose. And the hole. Welcome to the Vanish Cap Switch course. All of the blue blocks you find will become solid once you step on the cap switch. They'll disappear when you put on the Vanish Cap, so you'll be able to elude enemies and walk through many things. Try it out. And now we climb. Because this is the safest way to get the red coins. Because physics don't apply when you're crawling, apparently. Or when you're severely injuring yourself. Oh, that was nearly bad. Yeah, I don't think there's another... Nope, they're all down here somewhere. You can always just zip zoom all the way down and destroy yourself. This is also a very iconic song from this game. No! I screwed that up. Okay, so there's nothing down there, that's just the exit from this if you screw up. As I did. Bum 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 ba da da da. Da 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 squish. Get the thing, gotta get the thing, get the thing, gotta get the thing. Once again, I barely grabbed the ledge. Nope. Ah! Zigged when I should have zagged. Ah, crap. Alright, we're gonna have to... Peach really needs to stop designing these death traps! I remember hating this place, and now I remember why. Yeah, screw the baby crawl, let's see if we can do this the proper way. Well, that and destroying myself. I said there's so many lives I can pick up, though, at least. This time, for sure. Though not this time. Almost then, though. Nope. Yep. Why did I do that? I should have just jumped across when I knew I could. Ah. No, there's no careful thinking. There's no careful planning. You just need to do. You're like those old Nike ads and just do it. I may have just infringed on somebody's copyright. I don't know! Fuck! Ugh. I'm gonna have a lot of lives by the time this is done, at least. So that's a bonus, I guess. I tensed up so much when I pulled back on the stick to not go sailing over the edge. It's like that thing that I'm sure a lot of us did it as kids. I'm sure some of us even still do it as adults, which is you start moving along with your character, even though you're not like doing motion controls or any of that. You want to go left, you start turning yourself left. There we go. That's more like it. I don't know what the hell I was thinking before. Come on. Why did I do that? Why did I do that? I thought there was another red coin there. I was wrong. I was wrong. Dear God, why? I was there. It was within my grasp. I could taste it. And it tasted like copper, coated in red dye number 2, because I assume that's what the red coins are. I did so well just to fuck it up on the finish. Yeah, I don't know why the hell I was doing it like I did before. This just makes so much more sense. The last red coin must be up here somewhere then. Yeah, there it is. Doy. Advantage caps will pop from all the blue blocks you find. Oh god! It's doing the bad boys camera spin thing again. I love it when the game does that.
Here we go!
Yahoo! Well, let's polish off the last 2 places downstairs, and then we'll maybe do 1 or 2 stars upstairs. Yeah, so we just got 1 left in Big Boo's Haunt, and 1 left in Dar Dar Docks, and we've got all the coin stars. To the hunt! Get back here, you little bastard! Son of your hash! Backflip into a front flip.
Let's go.
Eye to eye in the secret room. Ugh. Oh, was that over here? Yes. Oh, I need to... okay. I need to find the cap down here. And equip it and get up here. Boot my ass up here before I can... You know, before it goes out on me. Where did I see one? There was one just out here, right? Yeah, there's one across the way. Wait, but how do I get to that one? Oh, wait, no. This way, yes. Even though I don't think it logically works that way. Okay. Go, 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 go! There's not much time! Run! The boo couldn't see me, but yet it knew I was there. It was all about invisible folk, I guess. Then we crawl.
Here we go.
And we will never have to go to that horrid place ever again. Let me in, let me in, let me in. It's down here. Doy, behind the key door. Of course! Yawn. Yahoo! That was meant to be a long jump.
Let's go.
One thing people did comment on about this game, though, is that you don't really need the caps. You only need the caps to get like a handful of stars. And some of them you can get through other means anyway, like probably not this one unless you can glitch your way into the cage, but a lot of the ones that require the flying cap, you could still get them with creative jumping and cannon use usually. So it's like the caps aren't even necessarily something you really need, it's just something that's fun to screw around with. And I think this is the only time you ever need to merge the caps.
Here we go.
Damn it.
Here we go.
Come on. Can I get over there before one of them runs out? Made it!
Here we go.
Alright. Is everything in the basement taken care of? And I got 4 coins! Hooray! Yeah, I think I'll get at least 80 stars before I finish off for tonight, so let's run up and see what level we want to do upstairs. Because that'll leave me only 40 left to get, and I might be able to knock that out in a single stream. If indeed there's 120. Okay, so we got that guy. That's Bob-omb Battlefield again. Thanks, Mario! The castle is recovering its energy as you retrieve Power Stars, and you've chased Bowser right out of here. On to some area ahead. Oh, by the by, are you collecting coins? Special stars appear when you collect 100 coins in each of the 15 courses. And when you do collect them, can you bring them back to me? I kind of need them for something. Oh, don't ask why. It's just if you see a big burly Koopa come towards you asking where I am, you can just tell him I'll have what he needs by the end of the week. That's fine, right? Can you do me a solid, Mario? Okay, that's one. There's another snow one too, I think. Alright, what's in this one? Okay, this big small area. Oh wait, have I talked to you? Thanks to the power of the stars, life is returning to the castle. Please, Mario, you have to give Bowser the boot. Yeah, let me tell you a little something about the castle. In the room with the mirrors, look carefully for anything that's not reflected in the mirror. And when you go to the water town, you can flood it with a high jump into the painting. Oh, and by the way, look what I found!
Here we go!
Now, I've only just noticed Mario was cross-eyed. Huh, how about that? But this just goes to show how awful Bowser is at doing this. Like, he's just left Power Stars laying around. Aha, there we go. Let's go in this place next. Snowman's Land. Snowman's big head. Oh my. Running around in circles will make some bad guys roll their eyes. Thank you once again for telling me this. I always like this level. This level is really cool. I need your money. And your soul. And your life. I need it all. Not that one though, apparently. Boing! You know what? Let's get a couple of stars from a few different levels. Let's do that. Just so we can have a look at each level. And I know exactly which one I'm going to get in this one. I'm not going to get the one they tell me to. We're going to bully the bully. Interesting, slightly more punk version of the bully. For this area. Because that down there is freezing cold water.
Here we go!
High score! Yeah, let's get 2 from each one, maybe. Chill with the bully. I don't know how chill I just was. I kind of murdered him. That's not very chill. Oh, yeah, I can't go that way. Never mind. Yeah, I'm not gonna bother with the coins. That'll be for a later date. I phased through the side. He's just staring me in the face. Are you reading that sign there, friend? Snowman Mountain ahead. Keep out, and don't try the triple jump over the ice block shooter. If you fall into the freezing pond, your power decreases quickly and you won't recover automatically. The Snowman. Oh, is it like that really crappy... No, I don't want to read that. That really crappy movie that came out a while ago, The Snowman? That murder mystery? You could have saved her, Mr. Plumber Man. Alright, cool, Rose. Thanks for dropping by. You have yourself a good one. I'll be probably back again on Tuesday, most likely with some more Yakuza 0, because of course. So thank you and good night, my good friend. Get your Teddy Whitey's ready. You too will be a lust machine. Hey, who's there? What's climbing on me? Is it an ice ant? A snow flea? Whatever it is, it's bugging me. I think I'll blow it away! Help me, Penguin. No, Penguin, please! No. Here we are. Yeah, I seem to recall this one can be a bit of a nuisance too if you're not careful. There's a couple of different ways you can do it. You can just hide behind the penguin, or you can jump on its head and kind of ride him around. Oh god, no! Please! Why? Okay, Jesus. I feel like the snowman is some sort of horrible demigod that rules this area with an iron fist. Which is impressive because his fist is made of snow. Camera, no. Alright, let's try hiding behind the penguin this time. Actually, wait. Oh, screw that. I'm inside the penguin's head. It's like I'm piloting it with my toes. Buddy, you seem to be missing a chunk of your skull. That seems to be a problem.
Here we go!
You have a tree growing out of your head. You've got more to worry about than ice ants and snow fleas. Yeah, you know what? Maybe I won't do 1 star from each. Let's just get a couple more from single painting, and I'll probably call it quits there. You know what? Screw it. Let's just get them from the snowman one. Alley-oop! It's coming up on 3 hours, so... In the deep freeze. Is that meant to be in here? How very puzzling. Except not really.
Here we go!
And our last star for the evening shall be... Whirl from the freezing pond. Okay, I know exactly where that is. That's not going to be too hard. Interestingly, I need to go over there twice. If it's where I think it is, because I also get the red coins over that way as well. Boing! Oh, shit. No. I need you to come up here. Whirly friend. Whirly friend, please. No? What about the other whirly friend? I think I screwed up killing the other one, although he seems to be slowly working his way around. No, you almost had it. How's about I sort of wait? Okay, look. Follow me. This is not doing any wonders for my health, but as long as it gets you on the right track. There we go. Hop on the shiny shell and ride wherever you want to go. Shred those enemies! But why would I? The star is right here.
Here we go!
Alright, that's 80 stars, meaning I think there's only... I'm gonna double check how many stars are in Mario 64. I'm positive it's 120, but I want to be certain. How many stars in Mario 64? 120. Okay, so I've only got 40 more left to go. And I might be able to get those 40 in the one go, depending on how quickly I can do it.
I'm a tire.
I'm a tire. No, tired. Tired, yes. You and me both, buddy. You and me both. Anyway, let me switch over to the, I'm gonna put this in sleep mode. As Mario himself is asleep. And readjust my computer. Computer. And let me finish off my closing thing for whoever may still be around. I'm willing to bet the answer is not many. Alright, so if you happen to stop by to watch, I thank you very much for doing so, and hopefully you fine folks will join me again next time, which is going to be Tuesday, hopefully. I'll carry on with some Yakuza 0. I'm doing the thing again that I said maybe about a year ago I wasn't going to do anymore, which was start streaming multiple games, and then like have long stints of time in between when I got back to certain ones. Because now I'm doing Fox and Forests, and Yakuza 0, and Slime Rancher, and Oblivion, which I haven't played in ages. I'm getting back into 7 Days to Die. I'm only doing one Retro Sunday game now, but I might end up throwing another one into the mix next week. We'll see. But yeah, I'm going to try to focus on Yakuza 0 every Tuesday. I'm going to make that a regular thing for Tuesdays. Because I really enjoy that game. Feel like that's something that's going to take me a while to finish because there's a lot of extra stuff in it. So I'll have a specific day set aside focused for that. But that'll be Tuesday. Until then, as always, I thank you very much for stopping by to watch if you did indeed do so, and hopefully you'll join me then. And until then, as always, I wish you a farewell, and I hope you have a great day. So long for now.